In the Battle of Lake Erie, the entire British squadron had been captured by the American fleet. This naval defeat left British positions on land disadvantaged strategically, tactically, and logistically. From a military point of view, this left Proctor only one option, and that is to retreat.
Basically, when they pulled out, they didn't want to have anything left here for the Americans to use when the Americans came in. So the fort was burned, government buildings were burned in Sandwich as well, and installations that had been contracted by the government were destroyed.
Eventually, Proctor managed to convince Tecumseh to retreat, but only 1/3 of the assembled warriors on the Detroit frontier actually crossed the Detroit River to join the retreat up the Thames. This was more than a tactical retreat. It was a small migration.
If you lived here and you had been working with the British government, or simply if you were a man between 16 and 60 years old who were eligible to be in the militia, you could be taken prisoner. So with the evacuation, you also have the evacuation of families.
The retreat is a logistical nightmare for the British. To support the army, they impressed several of the pacifist communities living in Upper Canada into providing wagons, horses, and drivers.
Mennonites had been given exemption from military duty, but often at the cost of either an exemption fee or the requirement that they would do non-combatant service. In the Waterloo settlement, the Mennonites and a couple Tunkers as well were involved in a large collective transport operation in anticipation of the retreat of Proctor's army.
We see pictures today of conflicts in different parts of the world, and we see these roads clogged with refugees trying to escape with all of their worldly possessions. Basically, in 1813, it was the same scene along the Thames River, because you had the British troops, and some of them had family in Amherstburg. They were trying to bring a lot of their possessions. You had the First Nations families, and you also had an awful lot of the settlers who were trying to flee. And that's what really slowed the retreat down incredibly, because I mean, you had livestock, you had carts, they were trying to traverse really rudimentary lanes, paths really, that were very muddy and rough. Carts were breaking down, things were being abandoned on the roadside. I mean, altogether, there were thousands of people involved in this retreat.